Friends, good evening. Today I am going to discuss the preamble of our constitution. In fact, if one needs to know about our constitution, suppose that a foreigner visits our country and he is eager to know about our constitution, he should not be going through the entire constitution. Even if he gets the gist of this, he will understand what exactly our constitution is all about. So first of all, we have to understand what is the source behind our constitution. The source is star. We the people of India, and that means the source behind the constitution is people of our country. And that's why we say, unlike British Parliament, Indian Parliament is not sovereign. Sovereignty lies with the people of our country. So the preamble says what is the objective, what kind of the polity we want to establish, and what do we really want to achieve. It includes everything. It has encompassed everything. That's why when we say we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist democratic republic, it means earlier these two things, that secular and socialist were missing, and integrity. These were added after 42nd Amendment. But that does not mean that we did not have implicit understanding of these words. Though we did not explicitly mention secular, but see, we have already said that justice of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, and all these things have been granted, and these are enshrined into our constitution under fundamental rights. And therefore, India is a secular country. That means India does not have its own official religion like theocratic countries have. They have official religion. For example, Pakistan, where this is a theocratic country, and therefore, if you say or write or do anything against the theocratic country, means those sacramental things, it means they are the holy cow. And if you are saying anything that is blasphemous, and the recent example in which the Salman Taseer was killed in Pakistan just because he said something which was not acceptable to the religion. So theocratic country are those which has the official religion. We are saying that India does not have any official religion, but at the same time it treats every religion equally. So in that sense, the secularism was already there. It is not something that after 42nd Amendment it becomes explicit. Earlier it was implied there. So first we have to understand the sovereign. Sovereignty lies with the people rather than with the parliament. Ultimate source coming from here. What kind of the polity we want to establish? We have already said. So it sovereignty means we are not under the obligation to follow or oblige to any external power, and we are not under the compulsion to modify or make policies according to the whims and fancy of somebody else like external forces. We are independent country and we are going to make our policies without any pressure from external forces. We are sovereign, but sovereignty lies with the people. Then we have democratic republic. So earlier means we have also added secular and socialist word as well. So what does socialist means? Socialist. Some students also requested me to explain all these things in Hindi as well. So let me start in Hindi so that both Hindi medium student and English medium student could simultaneously understand that what I'm talking about. So संप्रभुता का अर्थ होता है हम किसी बाह्य शक्ति के अधीन नहीं हैं, हमारी पॉलिसीज, हमारे नीति, हम जो कुछ भी चाहें बिना किसी से पूछे, बिना किसी के दबाव में आए बना सकते हैं. दो वी आर part of the Commonwealth countries even after the colonial liquidation. But that doesn't mean that we are going to follow this. See, before the advent of our constitution, we were governed by 1935 Act, Government of India 1935, which became effective in 1937, but it never came into being just because the opposition or resistance came from the princely states. Earlier, before the Indian Independence Act 1947, we were under the British Empire, and India was divided into two kind of the state. One was the British India, another was the princely states. So the princely state did not accept the proposal of 1935. That's why it never came into being. But that was the first effort by the British Parliament to, decentralize the power. Now, come here. We are saying that sovereign means we are not under the obligation to oblige any external forces. We are free to make our foreign policies or internal politics, whatever. Then we are socialist. Socialist means what do we want to achieve? सोशलिज्म, समाजवाद, समाजवाद किस तरह का हम चाहते हैं? ऐसा समाजवाद नहीं चाहते हैं कि मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन should be completely monopolized by the government. We have government sector यानी public sector और private sector coexisting side by side, mixed economy दोनों के साथ. इसका अर्थ यह हुआ कि हमारे यहाँ निजी कंपनियां भी हैं और पब्लिक कंपनी भी है, और दोनों एक दूसरे के सहयोग से चलते रहते हैं. लेकिन हम सिर्फ मार्केट के ऊपर उन लोगों को नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं जो दबे कुचले हैं, जो वंचित हैं, जो गरीब हैं, जो आदिवासी हैं, जो बैकवर्ड हैं. उन लोगों को हम नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं मार्केट के भरोसे, क्योंकि मार्केट तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ लाभ के ऊपर चलता है. यानी अगर उन्हें आप पूरा जंगल दे दीजिए तो वो रात भर में सारे काट डालें, इसलिए कि उनका प्रॉफिट चाहिए. उन्हें कोयला दे दी, सारे कोयला निकाल लेंगे. जितनी भी चीजें आप देंगे उनका एक ही उद्देश्य होता है कि जल्द से जल्द इसको मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट के रूप में लिया जाए. दूसरी चीज, जो प्राइवेट कंपनीज हैं उनका ध्यान इस पर नहीं होता है. वो अगर उन्हें जरूरत पड़े तो वो बड़े बड़े लोगों के लिए सामान बनाएंगे, और छोटे लोगों के लिए अगर उनको लगे कि नहीं ये हमारे टारगेट प्रॉफिट ओरिएंटेड नहीं है, तो वो हो सकता है कि आपके लिए ना भी बनाए. ऐसी स्थिति में गवर्नमेंट का काम होता है कि उस पर एक तो मार्केट के ऊपर नियंत्रण रखे कि हाँ, मार्केट कभी भी कंट्रोल से बाहर ना चला जाए. दूसरी चीज, कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि गवर्नमेंट को कुछ सर्विसेज अपने हाथ में ही रखना होता है, ताकि जो सबसे गरीब लोग हैं वो परेशान ना हो. इसीलिए देखिए, अन्न का वितरण, जैसे स्कूल की शिक्षा, फ्री शिक्षा वगैरह वगैरह, ये सब जो है गवर्नमेंट को अपने हाथ में रखना पड़ेगा. प्राइवेट के हाथ में आप नहीं दे सकते हैं, इसलिए कि प्राइवेट का एक ही उद्देश्य होता है, मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट, हाउ टू मैक्सिमाइज द प्रॉफिट. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ द socialism we have adopted, that, and this socialism is reflected in our DPSP, that is directive principle of the state policy. हमारे नीति निर्देशक तत्वों में स्पष्ट रूप से इन चीजों को लिखा गया है कि गवर्नमेंट जब भी कोई पॉलिसी बनाए तो दीज डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द स्टेट पॉलिसी मस्ट बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन. इनके बिना आप नहीं बना सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमें पॉलिटिकल, सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस ये सब देना है. सिर्फ पॉलिटिकल जस्टिस से काम नहीं चलेगा, हमें सोशल जस्टिस भी देना है और हमें इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस भी देना है. इसलिए जब हमारे संविधान निर्माताओं ने संविधान का निर्माण किया, उस समय राज्य के नीति निर्देशक तत्वों को इनजस्टिशिएबल बना दिया. इनजस्टिशिएबल बनाने के पीछे उनका एक ही उद्देश्य था कि उस समय हमारे पास पर्याप्त संसाधनों की कमी थी, नहीं थी हमारे पास संसाधन, और हमें बहुत सारे काम करने थे. हमें एक तरफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर ध्यान देना था और एक तरफ गरीबी पर भी ध्यान देना था. ऐसी परिस्थिति में यह संभव नहीं था गवर्नमेंट के कि अगर इनको हम अगर जस्टिशिएबल बना देते फंडामेंटल राइट्स की तरह, तो कोई भी व्यक्ति पहुंच जाता सुप्रीम कोर्ट में और हाई कोर्ट में और कहता कि नहीं भाई, मुझे तो काम नहीं मिला. तो हम इतने लोगों को इस समय काम देने के उसमें नहीं थे, स्थिति में नहीं थे. लेकिन ये राज्य के नीति निर्देशक तत्व गवर्नमेंट के लिए एक निर्देशक है कि जब भी वो पॉलिसी बनाए तो इनको ध्यान में रख करके बनाए, ताकि कल को इसका उद्देश्य रहे कि हाँ, हमें किस तरह से एक समता मूलक समाज का निर्माण करना है. वी हैव टू मेक एन इगेलिटेरियन सोसाइटी in which the distribution of the money, the inequality among the people must be reduced. धीरे धीरे सबके पास सारी सुविधाएं होनी चाहिए, बेसिक एम्यूनिटी सबके पास होनी चाहिए, शिक्षा होना चाहिए, स्वास्थ्य होना चाहिए, घर होना चाहिए, पानी होना चाहिए. These basic necessities should be given to every person irrespective of class, creed, religion, etc. ये सारी चीजें, and that's why these fundamental rights has been conferred upon every citizen by the constitution irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, place of birth, etc. सबको दिया गया है, चाहे आप किसी धर्म के हो, किसी भी जात के हो, कुछ भी हो. और आप ध्यान से समझिए कि एक तरफ पॉलिटिकल जो राइट्स हमको फंडामेंटल राइट में दिए हैं, दीज फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर निगेटिव राइट्स अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट. नाउ कम बैक टू दिस sovereign socialist. We have already explained that what kind of the socialism we have adopted. We have adopted mixed मिश्रित economy, मिश्रित अर्थव्यवस्था जिसमें प्राइवेट और पब्लिक दोनों साथ में रहेंगे. Then we have democratic. It means directly elected by the people. Our representatives are being elected on the basis of the constitution, on the basis of the universal suffrage, and these people getting directly elected are sent to the parliament to represent the will of the people, and they make law, they promulgate law, and they reflect the will of the people according to the wish of the people. And that's why we say that sovereignty lies in the people. संप्रभुता निहित है लोगों के साथ, ना कि पार्लियामेंट के साथ. And then you have republic. Unlike British Parliament, see, British Parliament, I have already told you that it is sovereign, but we have Parliament that is not sovereign. Yes, in so many other aspects, that is sovereign. They have the entitlement, they are authorized and empowered to make laws, etc. But even then, see, preamble was not regarded as the part of the constitution. When in Beru judgment, Supreme Court said that preamble is not the part of the constitution, because in that case certain territory of Indian territory had to be ceded to Bangladesh at that time. But Supreme Court said that it must be amended by Article 368. Unless you amend this, you cannot cede the territory. You cannot cede the territory. But यानी कि अगर कुछ भी भाग, अगर भारत का भूभाग किसी को आपको देना है तो सिर्फ एडजस्टमेंट के रूप में नहीं होगा ये. और प्रियम्बल जो है, चूंकि यह कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का भाग नहीं है, लेकिन केशवानंद भारती वाले जजमेंट में इसको कहा गया कि प्रियम्बल इज नॉट ओनली इंटीग्रल पार्ट बट ऑल्सो द पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. Therefore, it cannot be changed and it has to be respected. सब कुछ इसमें दिया हुआ है. Then you are saying democratic means directly elected government. The elected representatives are going there and they are making laws and rules and regulations for us, and we are obliged to obey them. And see, there is a rule of law. It means nobody is above the law, and even those people who are making the law, legislating the law, promulgating the law are also subject, and even those who are implementing and executing the law are also subject to the same law. No one is above the law. Then you have republic. We have no hereditary tradition. We have elected head of the government, that is president. President is indirectly elected. He is not directly elected. He, unlike British crown, which is hereditary. Now thereafter we have justice. What kind? I have already told you that even before the word secular was introduced after 42nd Amendment, this was already implied in our constitution under fundamental rights, in which it is categorically stated that people can worship according to their belief. People can propagate their ideas according to their faith, etc. But government is not going to interfere in the private religion, but the government is going to respect every religion equally. And thereafter you have to say the equality, not only that every person should be treated equally, but also equal must be treated equally, not unequal must be treated equally. It is very important to understand that rule of law, that equality is, it says that equality of law and equal opportunity. It means that even those people who are not able to compete with the par with the other people, they must be brought and they must be given the preferential treatment. And this is why our constitution is unique in several respects. And then fraternity. This word has been derived from the French word, French substitution. It says that assuring the dignity and individual of the nation. The fraternity, this word has. See, our constitution definitely has been taken several elements from other. For example, the DPSP has been taken from the Ireland, procedure established by the law for, say, Japan. Then, Westminster model parliamentary system, that is taken from the British government. Then Supreme Court, independence of the judiciary and appointment of the judges and the vice president, all these things have been taken from the United States of America. Then, we have taken, for example, the concurrent list has been taken from the Australia. Federalism has been, see, the United States is also a federal country, federation, and we have also a federation in Canada, but we are very closely linked with the Canadian federation rather than US, because the US, what happened, all the 50 elements came together and they made a federation, whereas in our country all the states have been, given the power, not for the sake of for the sake of agreement. Means all these states did not come together and made their agreement with the union government that we are coming together for the sake of governance, etc. Merely for the sake of administration purposes, the power has been decentralized. Though they are autonomous in their respective field, there must be a very strong union for the sake of having a very united India. We must have the feeling of united country, irrespective of the religion, place, and speech and language, mother tongue, etc. We all are Indian. So that is other thing that we said that in a constituent assembly on 26th day, this day was chosen because on this day, 26th, we gave, and what we say, it is very important. Number, hereby we adopt, enact, and give ourselves. Means nobody else is forming it. We the people, source is there. So unity, integrity of the nation. We are the source of the constitution. Our constitution makers thought and pondered over several constitution, and before they framed this such a beautiful constitution, they were so far sighted, they knew it very well. That's why it is the blend of the rigidity and flexibility. So today I'm just going to conclude my lecture by saying that if you have really understood the preamble, अगर आपने प्रस्तावना को समझ लिया, तो मेरे मित्रों आप समझ लो कि पूरा संविधान समझ लिया। इसलिए कि इसमें आपको समाजवाद भी बता देगा, इसमें इक्वलिटी भी बता देगा, इसमें पॉलिटिकल राइट्स भी बता देगा, इसमें सामाजिक राइट्स भी बता देगा। सारी चीजें इसमें इंक्लूड हैं कि हम हमारे अंदर सब संप्रभुता है, हमारा समाजवाद कैसा है, हम किस तरह का समाज, समता मूलक समाज बनाना चाहते हैं, जिसमें हम अमीर और गरीब की खाई को खत्म कर सकें, असमानता को कम कर सकें। ये सारी चीजें हमारे संविधान में है। बड़ी खूबसूरती से हमारे संविधान निर्माताओं ने इसको बनाया है, और इसीलिए भविष्य को ध्यान में रखते हुए उनको पता था, तो इन लोगों ने एक ऐसा संविधान बनाया कि आगे समय के अनुसार इसको बदला भी जा सके और समय के अकॉर्डिंग इसको मॉडिफाई किया जा सके। सो आज के लिए इतना ही। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर वॉचिंग एंड लिसनिंग टू मी।